All right, welcome to the show. Some invest for growth, others for income. So how should you invest to secure your future? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. Woohoo! It's that time again. You are watching the Drive Your Business live stream with myself, Lucille Devine, and today we are really going to uncover quite a bit when it comes to creating wealth. So whether you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur who wants to leave a lasting legacy for future generations to come, planning ahead with the mindset of investing in your business is possible when you choose the investments that suits your personal needs. This morning, we're going to be talking to Sheldon Friedricksen, and he's from Fed Group. He's the CFO, so very much a numbers man, and you're going to get to meet him this morning. He's going to actually unpack why starting an investment fund for your business is so important. So, warm welcome to you, Sheldon, and thank you for joining the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Lucille. I'm really glad to be here.
Oh, such a pleasure, such a pleasure. Let's kick off first. I want to get my audience to know a little bit around who you are and how you fit into this whole pie at Fed Group. Now, I know that you're an international numbers man. So give us a little bit of background with regards to who you are, Sheldon.
You introduced me. I'm Sheldon Friedricksen. So I'm a registered chartered accountant. I did my articles at Deloitte, and through that process, I also got experience in New York. I think that was a valuable experience just to see how internationally our field in, I guess, the accounting field works. I came back to South Africa and felt I hadn't learned enough at Deloitte, so I stayed on for another 4 years, became a senior manager there, and then decided I needed to actually go out and make a mark in, I guess, commerce or the corporate world. And that's where, fortunate enough, I found myself at Fed Group, being a diversified financial services group. And this is where I could stretch myself and get to know more about the financial services from being inside a business instead of often the auditors. You're looking historically, you are the consultants, actually being part of the growth and also around innovation. And that's where, fortunately, I found myself at Fed Group, which is an innovative technology-based company where we try and bring new things to the market and put people before profit to deliver products that keep to their product promise, as well as obviously staying in the realm of the compliance with the regulations, etc., and protecting individuals' money, particularly in investments.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's why I was so excited when I got the opportunity to interview everybody at Fed Group, because it is an investment company that is forward thinking. But not only that, the innovation that is happening internally, as well as what you offer your customers, is unprecedented. And a lot of companies have learned from the methodology that you are now putting into the business. So this is fantastic. I also like the fact that you are an international chartered accountant, and having that auditing kind of mindset and coming into Fed Group also, I suppose, gives a different page to the way that you approach things, as well as how you look at things as well. So that's a huge plus, I think. So wow, that's amazing. All right, so let's jump right into this, because I know a lot of my audiences who are entrepreneurs, small businesses, as well as influencers, they're busy growing their businesses. And I mean, this year has been anything to go by. Sometimes it has been hairy, I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, a lot of business owners don't know that there's an option that they can actually take some of their profit and turn it into an investment. So I want to discuss this a little bit with you and unpack this with you, especially for my audience, because a lot of them are small to medium enterprises, and a lot of them do want to invest, but they just don't know how. So let's give them some direction. All right, so the first question I want to ask you then, Sheldon, is why is it important for business owners, entrepreneurs, to invest in their business's future?
So I think investing as a principle is important, and that makes you consider other alternatives to what you're currently doing. So I think as an entrepreneur or a business owner, it's important to be 100% confident that you're going to succeed in your business. That makes you fully committed that this is the way that it's going to be. But maybe it's me being a numbers guy or also more conservative, risk averse. It's about planning for that rainy day. And similar methodology or messaging that you get from when you're speaking to an individual, I think businesses also have their rainy days. You mentioned this year in particular, like if you were in certain sectors in the industry, you hit closure, you weren't operating or able to operate.
Yeah.
And I think part of planning for your future is also planning for some unforeseen eventualities, as well as investing in your business future is not really being sure where your future of your business is going to be, and having that available capital to take advantage of a situation that presents itself when it does. It allows you to pivot, be agile in your business, and cash is king. You know, with capital that you could deploy into a new venture, you could grow your business tenfold by pivoting somewhere else. So I think that's where investing as a principle is around spending wisely, but also putting stuff aside for your business's future. So similar ethos to what we had put aside for our future as individuals, actually almost thinking of your business as a person and saying, well, what does this person need to survive? And putting money aside and finding where to put that is obviously the key, because you would want that to grow and to actually help you in any of your future business ventures or what your business needs at that future time.
Yeah. Okay, you've actually dropped a couple of awesome nuggets here, especially when we as business owners are looking at our business. One of the first things that you said was be fully committed. So investing is a mindset of being committed, not only to yourself and your business, but to your staff, your team. And that is one of the key factors why people should invest. The other thing that you mentioned there, Sheldon, was planning ahead. And planning ahead for me, especially as a business owner, I mean, we are living in unprecedented times at the moment, not only during this year, but what is coming in the future, we have no idea. The new norm is not normal anymore. So I think planning ahead is one of the key things that you've highlighted there, which I absolutely agree with. The other thing is spending wisely. And this is one of the key things that when I speak to a lot of my entrepreneurs, they are so unsure as to what they should actually invest, what percentage of their profit they should actually go and invest. Not only that is, where do they spend? I mean, do they spend just to look after their business and their business assets? Do they actually look after their staff as well? Can you give us a little bit of an indication as to how we should spend wisely when it comes to investing?
So each person's business is different, and particularly in a startup, it's quite hard to actually have money left over at the end of each month to invest. You know, in that startup and that bottom of that J curve, you are running into the red, and this is where often you want to start with an amount of capital that you can see you can get you through that J curve back, well, to the growth area. But I think the standard rule of thumb is you would want to spend a third of your revenue on your staff, and a third of your revenue on your operating costs, with leaving a third at the end of the month that is profit that can be distributed. And now that distribution can take many forms. It can be bonuses to look after your staff because your business is quite staff dependent, and they are your key asset. You might have other assets like computer equipment, etc., but actually your staff are key, and you only realize the value that they add often when they leave. You know, sometimes there's a view that staff can be replaced, but actually that institutional knowledge is valuable, and that's where some of the money goes there. But otherwise, you're investing in new ventures, or you're incubating a project that you're wanting to take to market that's going to either pivot your business or at least give you another revenue source that is going to leave you less concentrated on your current revenue source, which actually is looking after your business and investing in your future. The other option is investing in other investment products, because right now you're just unsure where to spend. And that's part of perhaps pausing a bit and saying, well, let me rather decide exactly which projects I should incubate, or I need to transform my business into this, and I'm going to need capital in the future, but right now is not the right time. Let me invest somewhere. And part of that investment is diversifying your business's, I guess, concentration to a particular industry. So where do you invest? Well, diversifying. So
okay, there's also very good information with regards to that, because it just sheds light when it comes to how you should actually invest, not only by diversifying, but the percentage of your profits that you should actually start to invest. I love the fact that also it's an ethos within Fed Group is that you're looking after your staff as well, because happy staff stay with you in the long term. And not only that, they also want to give back because you're giving to them as well. So if you're watching, warm welcome to you. Only a pleasure to have you on board. As always, this is an interactive show. You want to go ahead and just say hi, you can do so down in the comments below, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. We'd love to actually hear from you. My guest this morning is Sheldon Friedricksen, and he's the CFO of Fed Group. We are talking about creating wealth for your business and how to invest correctly. We're not only talking about what kind of percentage you should actually be investing in your business, but we're also talking about how you should go about that mindset of investing in your business. We're going to actually also come through to, and I'm going to ask Sheldon very shortly about how we should diversify, what kind of products are out there. But if you are online, please just drop us a hi down below. You can ask questions, and we will actually take and answer those questions during live stream. All right, so Sheldon, let's go into our next question, because I really love the way that we're unpacking this, especially for entrepreneurs and small business owners. 9 times out of 10, they don't have the advantage of someone in your capacity who can advise them on how to correctly invest their profits. And at the end of the day, this kind of information is so needed, especially when growing our business, because we're growing to scale. We're growing to create more employment. We're growing because we want to leave a legacy. And sometimes we're growing because we want to hand over this legacy to our younger generation. So tell me, what type of investments are available through Fed Group right now?
So Fed Group has a variety of investments, from our global worldwide unit trust fund. So that is an offshore equity tracker fund that you can invest in, to a local tracker fund, to a local active fund, which is also an equity fund. Then we have our unit trusts that are your income plus fund, which invests in corporate debt, listed corporate debt, and listed bonds and government bonds. And we have our money market fund, which lists in shorter term corporate debt instruments. And that's kind of the realm of what we term our liquid investments. So those unit trusts, most of them are, except for the money market, are to be invested for a longer duration. So for longer term, 3 months to 3 years. However, you can withdraw it with 24 hours notice because they're in the listed market, and the size of the funds, you can withdraw your investment when you do. However, obviously in the equity market, being a bit more volatile, that's where generally that type of investment you would want to invest for a longer term. Then we have our secured investment. Now, our secured investment is a 5-year fixed interest term investment that has an income option and a growth option. The income option means that we pay you that nominal interest rate each month as an income that you can earn, which works similar to like an annuity style product. The growth option is where that interest is capitalized and you earn interest on that interest through the compounding of that. And that's for a 5-year term. So that's for a longer term investment. However, it's secured, backed by mortgage bonds on commercial industrial properties. And you have that certainty of this is the return I'm getting for that 5-year period.
Okay.
Then one of our more innovative products that we have, one of our more innovative products that we have is our impact farming investments, which is investing in renewable energy. We also have our beehives and our blueberries. And each of those asset classes are investments that you're growing your wealth while doing good or doing something big in South Africa. So it's about job creation, smart farming, saving water, renewable energy, clean green energy, and saving our environment. And those investments are structured through our impact farming platform, and also deliver returns of between 9 and 12% over its tenure, depending on the duration that you invest for.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, yes. I've heard a lot of news around the impact farming, and I actually also love the fact that it is not only helping us to invest in our country, but it is sustaining our country because it's creating employment as well. All right. I love the fact that you also got a wide selection of various investments. One is that equity fund, and the units with regards to the unit trust as well. It almost becomes a fund that is self-serving, because the unit trust, and from what I can understand, is that as soon as I start to invest in that, I can not only leave that for long term, but if it comes to a crisis moment where I have to start to draw on that on a monthly basis, I can actually tap into that and start drawing on that income as well. That's a fantastic way, especially for small businesses who were hit quite hard. There's a couple of entrepreneurs who are that I also serve that are in the travel business, and something like this would have absolutely worked for them, because they had to then go over their staff because of what had happened. But if they had invested in this, they would have been able to draw some sort of a small income on a monthly basis to actually pay their staff, as well as then keep some sort of business going. So I'm also going to just highlight that with regards to some of my entrepreneurs that are on here and my small business owners. It's absolutely something that you need to look at. Go ahead, pop onto Fed Group, their actual website, which is fedgroup.co.za. Also join them across social media. I'm going to just put that down on the sledge below so that you can all see. And go and connect with Fed Group. It's a very good idea now to start looking at the options that are available to you. Sheldon also mentioned that there is a money market fund. And that is a fund, again, it's a long-term fund. That is something that you can look for investment for the long term of your business as well. And remember, when you're in business after a good 2 years, you want to scale, you want to innovate, you want to have that cash injection that will also allow you to start to grow your business. But even better than that, it helps you to scale. And at that point, when you're needing to scale, it's a wonderful opportunity for you to have these all in play. The last one is that impact farming. And it's something that we spoke about last week on the show with the CEO, Grant Field. He was unpacking a little around the impact farming and how Fed Group has been quite innovative when it comes to this, whether you are investing in berries, bees, or the solar energy. At the end of the day, you can also yield some sort of a kickback. And wouldn't that be wonderful if you invested in something like that on your behalf of your staff? That could be an incentive that could draw staff towards you as well. I think that is phenomenal. Thank you, Sheldon. Thanks for sharing that with me as well, because like I said, this is really innovative. It's so nice to have an advisory skilled numbers man that is sharing this advice with us as well. All right, so let's hop on to the next question that I have for you, please, when it comes to how to invest. And what is the difference between a secure investment and investing in unit trusts? I get this quite often because a lot of my entrepreneurs don't know the difference between the two, and I'm sure there's many differences. Can you highlight a few for us, please?
Perfect. So I think to start out with, they are structured very similarly. So they're both a collective investment scheme registered with the FSCA and the regulator. But what makes them different is the term of that investment. So a secured investment that we sell is basically a unit in a participation bond fund. So your investment comes in and you will earn a fixed interest rate that we will guarantee that interest rate. And that money is then deployed into mortgage bonds and a variety of mortgage bonds in the pool. of this unit trust fund. However, your term of your investment is for 5 years. So your investment is locked in for 5 years, and there is the ability to early withdrawal, subject to certain financial distress that you have to prove to us, etc. But the investment is for a 5-year term, and there's fees for early withdrawal. However, when you're investing in a unit trust, those unit trusts and those unit trust deeds govern how or what type of instruments they invest in, and that's what makes them slightly more liquid. So they invest in listed instruments in the market, be it equity or debt instruments in the market. And with those being traded on the JSE, it allows the unit trust to trade out should you want to withdraw. So if you are a large investor and a bulk investor, it would actually force the manager of the unit trust fund to actually go to market to disinvest from those actual assets to pay you out. However, the whole idea of any of these unit trust funds is there's a pooling of various people's investors, which allows the manager to still pay you out without actually trading, which helps you generate the best return and the fund to generate the best return. Because going to market to trade a big block has pricing impacts in the market, and that's the concern. So I think the main, difference for individuals to understand is in the secured investment space, your returns are, it's the interest rate is guaranteed. It's a fixed interest rate that you're earning, but you are invested for 5 years. Whereas in the unit trust space, you're invested in listed instruments that are priced in the market. So your returns aren't guaranteed. There's, historical returns, which, as I think all of us have seen, financial services providers will always have that disclaimer saying historical returns don't predict future returns, but it's not guaranteed returns. However, there is a risk rating for those funds. So you could work out at least a fair return that you would get. However, they are liquid. You can divest or disinvest within 24 hours from most unit trust funds.
Okay, I see. But it is key at the end of the day. It's something that you should leave for long term, but it is high risk as well, especially if you're cashing out. I'm sure you'll get the rate at whatever it was traded at. So yeah, okay, it makes sense. Okay, fantastic. All right, so if you've just joined us, I do see that a couple of people have just popped on. You are watching Drive Your Business live stream with me, Lucille Devine. And today we are talking about creating wealth with my guest, Sheldon from a Fed Group, and he is the CFO, numbers guy. And he most definitely is giving us wonderful insight when it comes to actually investing our profits as business owners into investing. It is one way to actually grow your bottom line as well as secure your future and help your business in the long term. As not only that, it's also to help your staff. Because there are a number of various investment packages that are available through Fed Group as well. So go and pop onto their website. I have that down below on the sledge. Go and check them out. Go and see what they have to offer as well. All right. If you do have any questions, please go ahead, pop them down in the comment section below. If you are watching the replay, just hashtag the word replay so that I can just identify that you're watching this later. And ask the question, and if I answer, I'll actually get a Sheldon to come across and answer for you as well at a later date. Also, if you find that this information is of high value and you want to share this with your network, as well as anyone that you know that is in business or going into business, this is a wonderful time right now for them to also understand the importance of investing. And especially when you are going into business, this is one way to secure your business future, especially once we've seen what happened during this lockdown and this year globally, everybody has gone into a deep recession, and investing in your business in this way can absolutely during crisis times like this as well. Okay, Sheldon, I've got one more question for you from my side, please. And then we can talk a little bit around how other people can get in touch with you for wanting to. So what's the best advice that you business owners and entrepreneurs, when it comes to investing their profits, is there anything or any advice that you can give us?
So I think being a business and entrepreneur, you're taking a lot of risk. So you're putting kind of yourself behind a business, and you're also taking obviously staff, and as you grow you get more staff, which makes you more of that like parent figure to those staff, where during times of crisis, people will still look to you as being the founder, the CEO of your business. And being in kind of a startup environment or entrepreneurial market, you are taking high risk. So I think that's where, should your actual investing of your profits and your other investments that you have, your staff and your individuals, when you're so dependent on quite a high risk venture, you should probably be looking at a low risk investment, really just to diversify your risk profile. Often people in a certain industry know that industry and they want to invest more in that industry. However, then you end up with this concentration risk that for your personal wealth as well as your business wealth, you're kind of operating in that industry as well as now investing further in that industry, maybe not in your own business, but in someone else's business. And that concentration just means that you are more susceptible to, if that industry crashes, everything that you've invested or everything that you have kind of put into that may crash as well. So I think that's where diversification is key, is to understand how your current investment profile fits as a CEO and as a business, and whether you should diversify and have different revenue sources that are hopefully counter-cyclical to your current industry that you operate in. And this is where I think as individuals, we often speak to your financial advisor, and as businesses, even a financial advisor can guide you in investing space. They can talk to you about what type of products out there. And as I say, a business technically could be a person. It's a person that has needs, that needs to, operate, and it also has dependents, being your staff, that are dependents on this business succeeding and surviving any storms, such as, a national lockdown. And this is where even, a financial advisor can advise you on the best way to diversify your risk, understanding how you are placed, and you can translate that into, well, my business is also placed like that because I am the CEO of this business, and almost it takes its ethos from me.
Yeah. I think that is very good advice, especially going forward. Even if it is an entrepreneur that is in business on their own, it's one way to actually secure your business future. And I think that is very good advice going forward, especially when crisis like this, like we've seen, actually happen globally. It is one way to actually secure your business as well as your own income, to maintain your lifestyle at the end of the day. So thank you very much. All right, so if you have dropped by, thank you so much for stopping by and listening to this live stream today. It's been my absolute pleasure. As always, if you have found this particular live stream of any value and you would like to share it with your colleagues or even your network, go ahead and tag the person down below by using that @mention and then their name. You can tag them in the actual comments down below and notify them about this particular live stream. If you don't want to do it on the forum, you can go ahead and share. Just use that share icon at the bottom right-hand corner. It's that little arrow. You can go ahead and share this video, this live stream, with them directly in their messenger. Or if you're on YouTube, you can send it to their email or any one of their social media channels as well. I'd really appreciate it if you do share this. The more that we can empower and educate other small business owners as well as entrepreneurs and influencers who need this type of information, the better off we will all be. We can sustain ourselves going forward as well. This is the new norm that we're living in, and it's good for us to understand and know what is available when we're looking at growing our own wealth and investing in our futures in our business. There is a couple of things that I really just want to reiterate before we go that Sheldon had mentioned. And one of the things is be fully committed. And this is something that comes up quite a bit on the show. So whether we're talking about influencer marketing and growing your business there, or whether we're talking about you as an entrepreneur or a business owner, the more real you become and the more you start to believe in yourself, the more fully committed you are as a business owner. And just by doing that, you need to take certain responsibilities. And one of them is creating wealth, is investing those profits that you're making into sustaining yourself and your business. It's not only a responsible thing for you to do, it's also the responsible thing for you to do on behalf of your staff, if you do employ staff as well. The other thing is planning. understand that there are advisors out there. Sheldon has come on this morning and has given us some awesome advice. He's dropped really good gold nuggets with regards to that as well. So always plan ahead and know what is available to you. Go and find out more information. I would like you to go and pop over to Fed Group. You can go to their website and plug into all of their social media directly there, but go and see what kind of products are available and then reach out to them. Awesome network, internal network and team that you can speak to about your needs and your individual company needs as well. Spending wisely. Don't go and take your profits and go and spend, especially during this festive season. No one is going to be splashing out. You shouldn't be doing that either. We've just got going. We are going through a global recession. You need to think about the future. We don't know what the future holds. There could be another lockdown that's coming in the future. Just be conscious of those facts. Be mindful of what you're doing as well. I think that's very, very important. And then the last thing, and it's a question I often get, is what kind of percentage should we invest? Well, look at what your profits pull in and take at least a minimum of 1/3 of that and actually look for investments. Be diverse with regards to it. And like I said, go and plug into Fed Group because they will be able to advise you as to how to invest that money, which is so important. Okay, so thank you for watching once again. I'm going to hand over to Sheldon. Always in the show, Sheldon, I normally get my speakers to give the last word. So I'm going to ask you for your last word. What advice would you give small business owners as well as entrepreneurs or influencers who are growing their business? What advice would you give them to create their own wealth? Please, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks, Lucille, for having me. I think it is about being committed and not feeling that, well, I'm investing in something else. I should be investing only in my business. That makes you feel uncommitted. It's actually you securing your future, your business's future, as well as your employee's future by putting capital aside that allows you to take future opportunities that is going to grow your business tenfold.
Okay. Wow. Put capital aside that is going to grow your business tenfold. You've heard it directly from the CFO of Fed Group. Sheldon, thank you so much for hanging out with this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've got to do this soon again. And thank you to the audience. Again, thanks for taking the time for hanging out with us. And if you want to make any comments or ask any questions at this point, please go ahead and do that right now. You can do that at the comment section down below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a brilliant week. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.